I woke abruptly, sweat dripping down my brow. I could feel the presence again. His presence. I looked around my room. I know I'm being watched. It's not anywhere to be seen. Damn. This is the third night in a row I've been awoken like this. The fear is starting to take over my mind. Something is out there. It is stalking me. Something wants me. But I guess I should back up and tell this story from the beginning. I'm 16 years old. I moved in this house with my family 7 years ago. It's about 30 minutes outside of town. We're fairly isolated. My parents love living out here. They say it's peaceful and pretty. I hate it. Not as much during the day as during the night. I'm always scared of the dark. It's my number one phobia. I hate not being able to see. And here at night, there's no light other than the moon and the stars. No warm, comforting glow of street lamps. No headlights slowly moving up and down the streets. Just hazy darkness. And especially during a new moon. When I first encountered it, that thing, I had a bunch of friends over. And after dark, we all decided to play some airsoft, capture the flag. It was a new moon, which made it especially dark and creepy. No light pierced the inky blackness, except the flashlights on the barrel of our airsoft pistols, and the occasional zip of glow in the dark airsoft pellets flying at their targets. We were all having a great time. He grabbed the other team's flag, and as we rushed back to my base, when we heard a sound that made my blood run cold. A scream of terror coming from about 30 feet to my right. A flash of white was running away from the sound. I changed direction, rushed towards the noise, aiming my flashlight at the source of the sound. My friend Jacob was sitting in the dirt, holding his bleeding leg, obviously in pain. The cut was deep. Another friend, Matt, and I rushed him inside. We sat there on the edge of the bathtub and began washing and dressing the cut. We asked him what happened. Some creature has scratched him. He said he didn't get a good look at it, but he just saw a flash of white. At first I assumed it was a possum or something. That was before I saw it again. The second time I was alone. It was in the middle of the night. Not a new moon, thankfully, but still eerie. I had insomnia, a rather common problem for me. It was 2 a.m. I had given up on all hope trying to get some sleep, so I went downstairs in the living room and popped in a DVD. As I lay on the couch, my mind is lost in the world of Inception. One of my dogs started barking. I thought nothing of it. Barking in the middle of the night is basically a routine for them. Then my other dog joined in. No big deal, but I noticed something. The bark was more menacing than usual. It was more of a brutal, growling bark. The bark dogs make when they're threatened. I turned on the back porch light, stepped outside. I creeped out. I called for them. Jake, Zoe, come here. Then I saw what they were barking at. It looked like a human, crouched there in the grass. It was probably around 4 feet tall, with bare, pale skin and long, bony limbs. I studied it for about 5 seconds and then it stared back at me. I'll never forget its eyes. Dark, almost like empty sockets. Its cold gaze washed over me, as if it was signing at me. Then it slowly moved towards me. I was almost paralyzed by fear, but was able to get back in the house. I locked the door behind me. I rushed to my parents' room. They were convinced I had a nightmare, but I know the truth. This was the first time I'd fully seen the creature that would soon push me to the brink of insanity. I didn't see that thing again for quite some time. I started to think that maybe my parents were right and it was just a dream. I was really sleep deprived after all. But down inside, I knew I had seen something. But a few weeks ago, I was on some website that my friend Derek had recommended. I saw a picture that shocked me. It was the creature. The one I had seen. The website claimed the creature was called, quote unquote, the Rake. And that stalks and mauls its victims. The moment I saw the article, my blood ran cold. I could have really seen that creature. The thought haunted me, refusing to leave my mind. I saw it again for the first time in the last week. I had woken up in the middle of the night again. Immediately, I felt something that was wrong. The house was too quiet. I felt very unsettled. I got out of bed, walked to the window, raised the blinds. It was very dark outside, but I could make something out. The creature was outside, scratching at something on the ground. Immediately, I opened up the window. I yelled at the thing. It looked up at me, caught my eyes for a moment, then rushed off, crawling on all fours very close to the ground. Then when I went out to see that I was scratching the next morning, something that sent chills to me to the bone. The mangled, half-eaten corpse of my dog Zoe. My parents think it was a mountain lion, but I know the truth. The so-called Rake, that bastard creature, killed my dog. The last few nights have been terrifying. I've woken up in a cold sweat each night, knowing that the damn thing is watching me. I feel its presence. I know it wants me now, and I have no idea what to do. I'm terrified beyond belief. I'm helpless. My parents keep telling me I'm imagining things, but I'm not. Damn it! I know what I've seen, and I know it wants me. That's why I'm writing this down at 3 in the morning. If anything happens to me, I want people to know that. I'll update this as soon as anything else happens. 5/2/11. The last week was a whirlwind of terror. I'm constantly in fear now. I know it's always watching me. Around every corner I go, every night I feel its presence, some nights more than others. I don't know exactly what it wants from me, but it's wanting something. I saw it again for the first time in a week today. I stayed home sick. I still feel like shit. I think it's making me sick. I was lying on the couch, watching TV, constantly looking over my shoulders, because he's always watching me. I have a shotgun by my side, a benefit of living in the country. I got it from the garage. It's loaded, in case the thing which I've decided to call the Rake tries to attack me. I know it would soon. I heard a noise outside. I cocked my gun. I stepped outside to investigate. Nothing. Damn it. I decided to patrol the perimeter of the house, just in case. Walked by it, everything, nothing. I stepped back inside and the smell hit me. It was the stench of death, rotting, and I held the gun out in front of me. Slowly, as I made my way up the stairs and turned the corner of my room, it was crouched in the corner, facing away from me. It slowly tilted its head towards me. Then it spoke. It was a high, shrill voice. I'm not sure exactly what it said to me. I didn't hesitate to pull the trigger, but it moved almost at superhuman speed. It barreled into me, knocking me down. I saw it jump off our second floor balcony to the living room, charged out the door. My arm was bleeding. It was gone. "Go to hell!" I screamed. I stepped back inside. I saw the blood. Not my blood. Its blood. I grabbed a dog it hadn't killed, Jake, put its nose in the blood. He picked up the scent and started moving towards the woods of my house. I didn't think twice, and I followed. We rushed through the woods, another mile away from my house. Jake started to whimper. I sent him back. This was my job. I started to explore the area, my finger twitching on the trigger, terrified. After about a half hour of searching, I saw something weird. A small area in the ground that was different. It seemed to be covered up. I walked over and swept away the grass. I was right. There was a board under the grass. I pulled up the board, exposing a hole. A rusty old ladder led down. Against all better judgment, curiosity got the best of me. I slung the shotgun over my back and lowered myself down. It was in a tunnel. It wasn't well lit, a few candles, but it was lit enough for me to see the blood-smeared walls. The smell was awful. I could see paintings of blood, disturbing things, stuff I never wanted to see. I walked through the towards the source of more light. I could see some sort of room. When I stepped in, I wanted to throw up. There was animal parts all over the floor, on the walls. It must have been the feeding room. I turned around, and there it was, stood behind me. It reached towards me. I just blacked out. I woke up in my room about 30 minutes ago now, alone, no cut on my arm, no blood anywhere. I decided to write everything while it's still fresh in my mind. Parents still aren't home. It's dark outside. I'm terrified to leave my room now. Maybe it all didn't happen. Maybe I'm going insane. Paranoia is here to stay. I realize that the Rake said in my room now, when he talked to me, it wants sacrifice. Mom, Dad, if you read this after I'm gone, then get the hell away. I don't know where to go, but just leave this place. Update number 2. 5/7/11. It's over now. He's satisfied. Sacrifice is made, and I'm alone. Here with me. He was here with me 3 nights. He just stood next to my bed, watches me, and sometimes he'll whisper to me. He told me he wanted sacrifice, bloody sacrifice. He told me I had to do it. I knew he was right. They don't matter to me. I can be alone. My parents thought I was going crazy. Little did they know. So, last night, I told him I'd do it. I'd give him a sacrifice. A good sacrifice. So he will be happy. I told them to come with me. I wanted to show them a pretty spot I had found. They walked with me, walked to the rake hole. I opened it up and pulled out a gun. I told them to go into it. They asked me what I was doing, and I told them he wanted to see them. They went into the hole, and they walked through the tunnel. She was crying. The Mr. Rank came out of his hiding place. He looked at me with his black eyes and just smiled. Then he killed them. They screamed a little bit, but I didn't care. He was happy now. He pointed at the hole, and knew it was time to leave. I'm back home now, all alone, in my dark room. I'm not scared of the dark anymore. I feel like the dark, it reminds me of my friend the Rake. I'm okay. I'm okay. Damn it. I'm not okay. I just led my parents to their death. I'm fucking crazy. I have the gun to my head now. I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm looking across my room. He's crouched there. Just smiling at me. Telling me to do it. That he's still hungry. He wants one more sacrifice. I'm going to give it to him. Goodbye.